Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com. Welcome again to Big Island. What a beautiful, gorgeous place. I'm so touched and energized by the volcanoes and the sea and the ocean. It's fantastic. The topic for this video is your life is a powerhouse of energy. You know, when I look at life situations, talking with clients, looking at friends' lives, family members, people in general in life, something that would radically shift how you perceive your existence, how you stand in life, is extra power. You know, if you feel like you are facing some challenge, sometimes it has to do with relationships and people in your life. It might be family members. It might mean something at work, a boss who is really abusing you or harassing you, or it might mean also your relationship to the government or the country that you live in. A lot of that has to do with feeling like you are being oppressed and dominated by forces that you don't really control, and feeling like you are overwhelmed or overtaken. It can be your business which is enslaving you. It could be your body which is not treating you right. You might feel enslaved by eating patterns that you don't control, or the fact that you are out of shape, or the fact that your mind is playing tricks on you, or the fact that you have been abused in your childhood and don't know how to get over that. So what I want to share with you is this idea of having extra power and what it does to you. So having extra power is something that radically changes and shifts the dynamics in your existence. When you want freedom, right? You want to be in a state of emotional freedom and space and possibility to achieve whatever you want. What you want is really for your mind and your life to be optimized, free, and be frictionless, without any disturbance, without anything holding you back. Imagine that you are trying to drive your car, right? And the brake is on, the handbrake is on. There is going to be lots of friction, lots of effort for the engine to take you where you want to be. So with your life, it's exactly the same. If you want to succeed, if you want to get to where you want to be in life, you need to have extra power, remove the friction so that you can really flow in the direction and where you want to go and reach the targets that you want to reach. So this is something which is a core idea in my coaching, and it's a core idea in life in general. It is that extra power changes everything. It changes everything. Think of the dynamics in your couple or relationship if you're not too happy in it. Think about your job, your profession. Think about how you relate to your environment, to your town, to your city, to the people around you. See the power dynamics at play and see what would happen if your level of power goes from 50, 60, 70% to 90, 100%. It changes everything. So you can get power from different sources. And the first thing to understand it is that if you don't love power, power doesn't love you back. It's a very simple thing. The second thing to understand is that there's a very big difference between power and abuse of power. When I use the word power, lots of people will go like, oh, power, it's dark, and I'm not sure if I like power. Well, guess what? If you don't like power, other people will, okay? That's the first thing. The other thing is that there's a big difference between power and abuse of power. Most people associate power with military power, political power, and all sorts of abuses of power or power situations that remind them of something which is nasty or ugly or really dark. So power is just like fire. It's free energy. It's something that you can turn into whatever you want. If somebody gives you a pile of money, so you receive $1 million, you can turn that into the most amazing, ecstatic experience, or you can get totally enslaved by that money. You can use that money to abuse people, to destroy the planet, or you can use it to protect and do fantastic things with it. So with power, it's exactly the same thing. The negative emotional associations that you might have with power need to go, okay? Those things are there, but there is, again, a very different big difference between power and abuse of power. A huge, huge difference. It's not the same thing. When somebody takes energy and turns that energy into something negative, that's their actions, which is turning a raw, pure source of energy into something which is negative. This is a set of actions. It's a mindset that turns this raw energy into something which is bad. So when you think of military power and you think about oppression and you think of negative things concerning power, then you're just taking a raw source of energy and looking at the impacts in society and in your own life maybe. So it doesn't have to be that way. We need to restructure and rethink the way we feel power and realize that having power, it's a huge responsibility, but it's a responsibility which is thrilling and exciting. When you have power over your health, power over your happiness, power even sometimes over people to direct them in ways which are extremely constructive, then you have the power to create. You have the power to generate incredible things. And yes, the risk of corruption and the risk of abuse is always there. And you need to watch out for that. And you are going to be tested. I don't think that life goes around giving people unlimited power without having some tests. And yes, some people have power on this planet and they should not have power because they are abusing it. That's true. But the point is that when you are growing in the process of power building, and I experience that a lot on the spiritual path with yoga and tantra and other spiritual practices and with my coaching as well, it is that you are given a little bit of extra power. And then it's almost like the invisible is watching how you are handling it. I think that we are experiencing that as a human race. I think that right now, if we were better at handling power as a human race, we would have way, way more stuff happening on this planet. I feel that right now, sometimes we are given a little impulse, a little extra energy, and then it's almost like the angelic realms or the spiritual realms or the forces that are at play on the invisible are observing how we do as a human race and then decide to give us more or less. But we need to be able to digest this power. For instance, think about nuclear power, think about atomic power, think about fire. What did it create in the human mind and in our lives? How did that transform our existence? And was it for the good, for the better, or for the worse? Is it, for instance, you give somebody lots of extra money. Somebody wins the lottery. Look at the impact on their lives. Are they turning that into a fantastic experience, or are they feeling miserable after a few years? What's the impact? Are they going to spend all their money gambling? Are they going to use that to project negative emotions and make other people feel terrible? How is it? Look at people who have lots of power, lots of presence, right? For instance, people arriving in some resort somewhere, in a big hotel. Are they abusing the staff or are they treating them right? How are they relating to other human beings? Do they recognize the value in every smile? This kind of thing. So the point is that when you have power, you can use that in ways which are exciting and incredible, or in ways which are self-destructive, abusive, corrupted, all that. So it's each person's responsibility to own that power and, take responsibility for the way you are going to use it. So there are tons of ways to build up power, many, many ways. You can build up physical power, you can build up mental power, you can build financial power, you can build relationship, love power, you can engage in so many directions which are going to build up the power muscle and eventually take you from 50, 60%, 70% of level of power to 90, 100% to be at a level of power which is optimized. Once this level of power is optimized, then you can start really using that, all this juice and all this extra energy that you have to create fantastic stuff. So I encourage you to just do something really simple right now. Say inside of you, I love power. I want more power. Are you able to say it? Are you able to do it? Or do you have a relationship with power which is still a little bit totally imprinted by the negative association that you have with power? So think about that. It's a little bit of a challenge that I want to give you today, because I do believe that this is one really core, specific challenge that lots of people are facing right now. Everybody's craving for having more ownership, more control over what's happening in their lives, and at the same time rejecting rejecting the sources of power because they have an association or an energy association which is negative with the idea of extra power. It can be the same with money. You know, lots of people are broke all the time and they hate money. you know, you go like, wow, if you hate money, money doesn't love you back. You need to create a relationship with money which is harmonious. If you are broke and are tired of being broke, then you need to start from a place where you love money. You love systems that generate money. You love being in some form of marketing activity. You know, if you don't, well, obviously money won't flow into your system because you are like rejecting it but wanting it at the same time. So this simple fundamental contradiction is something that many people are facing all the time. You know, it's like in love life, it's exactly the same situation. You might have, I have in coaching sessions, guys coming and craving to have a relationship and connect with fantastic women in their lives, and part of them hates women. Part of them might be totally still totally enslaved by negative experiences or cheating episode at one point or another, or a nasty ex-girlfriend coming after them. So it's like the same with women. I mean, very often women will be like, wow, I crave for being in a relationship, you know, I really want to find the right guy. And at the same time, there is an accumulation of negative experiences with men that puts them in a position where fundamentally they don't really like men. And I'm not talking about every woman, you know, but I'm just saying that this is a pattern that I can perceive very frequently. So it's all, again, the same thing. If you want to have a fantastic relationship with a man, and you are a woman, and you want to have a fantastic relationship with a man, and the first step is to love males, to enjoy their presence, to have a fantastic time when you're around them. And then from that juice, you can start generating and attracting a fantastic relationship. If you start from the place where every time you look at a man and you go like, I don't trust you, I think you're going to cheat on me, I think you're going to abandon me, I think you're going to break up with me, and you will have to really prove to me that you are a fantastic guy because right now I don't trust you. You know, if you start from that perspective, it's like putting blockages all over the place and stopping the flow of the possible interactions. So here are some mindsets that really work for me. I love money. I love it. Money gives me freedom. It allows me to do fantastic things, travel the world, be generous. I love money. I love having money in my life. You see, try to say these things and see how it feels. I love power. I want to be at 100% of my level of power. My possibilities to impact on life, have fantastic experiences, be free. I love this quality. I want more power. I want all the power I can get. Try saying it. And the reason why I dare to say it is because I know that the moment I have power, I know how to use it. So, you see how it works? Another one. I love women. I love interacting with women. Every time I meet an exciting woman, I develop this fantastic connection. I love women. I love female kind. I love feminine energy. I love men too. Not in a sexual way, but I love men. I love humankind. I love the nature. You know, these kind of mindsets, when you are able to say that, you establish a streamline of energy that connects you with that. And if there is a part of you that goes like, I don't really like money, I wish money would disappear. Well, guess what? When you send that wish out, money disappears and you're broke. So think about that. You know, those are very conscious dynamics. You get what you're sending out. And in my experience, it's exactly the way it works. You get what you're invoking. You get what you focus on. If you say, I hate money, money hates you back. You get back. It's like an echo. And the same with power. If you are in a situation where you're in a job and you have absolutely no power, no sense of control over what's happening, and you go like, I hate people in power. I hate the idea of power. I don't like power. When you keep repeating that as a, background sound, then eventually you are generating that feeling, and power cannot come into your life because a part of you is rejecting the idea of power by itself. And yeah, so that's the message for today. I think that you are ecstatically energetic, powerful being in potential. And if you're not expressing it right now, you can start taking steps straight away to start manifesting it more. And one of them is really to start shifting these core mindsets and these negative associations that you might have with these qualities like love, power, the opposite sex, or the same sex if you're gay. Think about it. Start practicing it. Bliss to you from Big Island, Hawaii. One of the most beautiful places in the world. I love it. Bye bye.